recession. In my view, the employment rate is still one of the lowest we've had in history. It's in the 3.6 area. We still find ourselves with people investing. My hope is we go from this rapid growth to steady growth. And we'll see some coming down. But I don't think we're going to, God willing, I don't think we're going to see a recession.
And what is exactly the White House's definition of a recession?
Again, I'm not going to define it from here. I'm just going to leave it to the NBER, as we have stated, how they define recession.
They have determined one.
I'm just saying that we're just not going to define it. We use the indicators that the NBER, the National Bureau of Economic Research, has used. We've mentioned that a few times.
GDP will be closely watched. A common definition of recession is 2 negative quarters of GDP growth, or at least that's something that's been true in past recessions. When we've seen that, there has usually been a recession. And many economists expect second quarter GDP to be negative. First quarter GDP was negative.
Is the White House trying to change the common definition of a recession because next Thursday the GDP numbers coming out are going to show that we've been in a recession?
So let me say this, the strength of our labor market along with the other economic factors is what we generally see in a recession, or even what is not what we generally see in a recession or even a pre-recession.
Been a lot of job numbers and other economic numbers that have come out over the last couple months that, man, we're still in a fucking recession. That I made that clip a year ago. We're still in a fucking recession.
Dude, yeah, I think it's great out there.
Best economy ever. Okay, that's what the experts keep telling me, man. Like the best economy ever.
You just can't see it. You just need us to tell you.
Yeah. Look, you gotta, like, just because you go to the grocery store and things are like, they're like 75% higher, sometimes 100% higher than they were last year. That's not a big deal, you guys. It doesn't really matter. It's the best economy ever. The line continues to go up.
It does seem like the grocery prices, really, of like all things, like everything's gone up, and I feel like the old man at the window, oh, can you believe this much for this much now? But like, man, grocery prices, though, really, of all the things, do seem like they've gotten hella gay.
Yeah.
I don't know the science behind it. Just making a lazy observation.
Johnny and I have talked about it on Peddling Fiction a couple times over the last several weeks. The fast food prices and how much fast food has gone up over.
Oh yeah.
Like just over the last 4 years. Not even
Well, if you
go back and look over the last 10 years,
I think we still had dollar menus back then.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but McDonald's had the dollar menu. I could go get a $1 sweet tea, and just
chill. The $5 footlong is not coming back. Now it's the $6 6-inch.
Yeah, man. Like I went to Jersey Mike's, dude, and it was like.
So, yeah, I thought you only get that in Las Vegas.
$23. Okay.
See, I thought you just get the $6 6-inch in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Inflation, man. All the prices have gone up. You can't even, the thing that used to cost you $20 now it's like $40. I wonder.
And yet they keep on.
I haven't been to a strip club in probably 20 years. I wonder what the going rate is on lap dances these days. Have those gone up too? Because it used to be $20 or whatever.
It's probably $70 now.
If you
got to throw 5 now instead of 1.
If you stick a 1 in her G string, she's just gonna be pissed off at you. You might get donkey.
Yeah, what the fuck is this? May as well use coins.
you put coins in the G string. That'd be hilarious.
Oh yeah, they don't. They don't like it if you drop a quarter in there. Yeah, they do not think it's as funny as I did.
Insert.
Yeah.
Insert here.
You mean it's not a coin slot?
Let me see how deep I can get it in there.
Oh, God. Craig, calm down.
What do I win? It's like the goldfish and the ping pong balls at the fair, you know.
Yeah.
You get to take home one of my crabs.
I'm sure all the like $6 billion that we're sending to Ukraine is probably not helping with everything else going up in cost.
Not
But-
6, it's 60. You forget.
Yeah, I thought I said 60.
You said 6, I thought.
I said 60.
Yeah. Yeah, that's 60, and then we got another 30. What? Another 30 to Israel now, too?
Come on. Do we really need to send money to Israel? They control like 80% of the world's wealth. Why are we sending them money? They should be sending us money. We ought to be like, hey, have you
Gotta
seen
fund that Iron Dome, man.
Have you seen the national debt clock? Like, we could use a bailout over here. Considering we bailed y'all's asses out of extinction in World War II, like, do a brother a favor and throw us a couple trills so we can pay down some of this debt. I don't know.
It's what 30, 35, approaching 36, like quickly.
Right.
I feel like this is something that Trump would say, and I hate to sound like this, but I would be a lot less mad at all the, us being like the world global like police if we were getting paid to do it instead of paying the countries to let us come in and do it. You know what I mean? If we were just like the mercenaries of the world, at least there'd be some sort of honor behind it.
Yeah, being paid mercenaries for the global good or whatever would at least justify it, right? Like that would at least we're getting paid to be the global police. Like
like Justin said, that we're in debt. Fuck it.
Our government's a fucking mob anyway. Why aren't we like, hey, you want us to keep the terrorists out? You gotta pay that protection fee.
Isn't it crazy they just do it to us?
If you don't pay, we just gonna let Russia roll right over your asses. Come on now.
Yeah, that's how it should be. It should be a shakedown. Like you like Ukraine. Like you don't want Russia to roll up on you. Like, look, you gotta drop a few stacks, okay? Drop a few.
And it's really mob-like because we created the entire scenario that led to Russia doing this to begin with, which is what the mob does. They create violence in the area, and then they come in. They're like, "Hey, you pay us to protect you from the shit we caused, or we just let the shit that we caused, take you out." So, what do you want to do?
It'd be a shame if something bad happened. Yeah.
People get hit by cars all the time.
I'd hate it if something bad happened to you, Benny boy.
Well, technically, like, we do kind of do that, but it's like for resources that just like cronyist corporations get. So, us, the people, get stiff, but, a bunch of,
it's like Taiwan.
Mining companies and this and that. Yeah, they get to go in and extract all the resources after we come help them out. So in a way, we kind of do, but we don't, we need to get some of that kickback. That's got to come back to us. You want to keep public opinion on your side, man. You got to.
That's the whole reason. That's the whole reason China is what it is, because it was like, oh yeah, we'll help you out, China. We'll take care of you. All you got to do is provide a cheap, like worthy labor for us to do all our manufacturing. Like that's what you do, and this is what you do. And if you don't do that, then we have problems, and we're gonna deal with you. And that's why they're like wagging their finger at them right now, because they're like acting like we'd say too big for their britches around here.
Getting a little uppity.
Yeah, getting a little uppity. And so that's that. They're like, hey, you wanna step to us? Like you wanna talk to Big Daddy here? We're gonna deal with you.
Big fat Paulie.
Only it's more like Paul Blart, Paul.
I watched Paul Blart relatively recently for the first time, and it wasn't as terrible as I expected it to be. Can I say that without being shit on too badly? It was so bad.
I don't think the
I laughed a couple times.
I think there's a second one, right? And I'm pretty sure the second one is pretty awful.
Yes,
That's
the
gotta
second
be
one
rough.
is worse than what you expected. But the first one, I mean, it's one of those like campy, feel good, dumb movies. Like if you're going into it
That's what I
looking
like.
for a lot of deep plot and like things that are going to engage you mentally, you clearly read the wrong write up of this movie. Like you were thinking like Road to Perdition or something else. You totally missed the boat on what you're supposed to be going to see here.
This cool cop's gonna go in and avenge justice on a bunch of bad guys, or something. It's like, wait, what is this goofy shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're thinking you're getting Die Hard, and really you're.
Oh, what? There was a movie that was like that.
Instead, you're
like,
getting Die Fat. That's what you.
Shit. Now I'm drawing a blank. There was a movie that was like that came out a couple years ago where it was like very clearly this is not supposed to be a serious movie. Like it's going to be insane and a lot of over the top action and bullshit, but like you shouldn't be going into this looking for great dialogue and deep plot points. And everybody was like all mad because they really thought like that it was a really shallow movie and it didn't have a lot going on and it was just all this over the top action. I'm like, did you even watch any of the fucking trailers at all? Like, did you? How do you come away? Like, I don't understand why people get pissed off about movies. Like, if you watch the trailer and the trailer is clearly nothing but action and dumb bullshit, you should probably just expect action and dumb bullshit. Now, if you see the trailer and the trailers are all like, ha ha, funny comedy shit, and then you go in and it's some like terrible serious movie, yeah, be pissed off about that. What was the Funny People? I think it was with like Seth Rogen and the dude from Third Rock from the Sun.
I don't remember.
Not Frank Stewart, but the other gay-looking one.
Not the old guy,
Not the old guy.
John Lithgow.
Yeah, John
Old
Lithgow.
guy.
Badass.
I don't know. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that show.
Anyway, it had Seth Rogen and some other like comedians, and it was called like Funny People. And if you watch the previews and the trailers, it was like, oh, this is gonna be funny. No, it's about this dude getting cancer, and then they're all trying to like help him get through his cancer by like doing stand-up comedy. It's like it wasn't even.
Patch Adams.
It wasn't even fucking funny. Like,
So they put Seth Rogen in a movie and they didn't have him do comedy.
I mean, they did comedy, but it was bad comedy.
Oh, okay. So it sucked. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
I mean that's typical anything Seth Rogen is in.
Except 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that one.
Speaking of John Lithgow,
But Steve
think
Carell carries that.
I think my favorite John Lithgow role was the Trinity Killer in season 4 of Dexter. Like John Lithgow as a bad guy is like super
Terrifying.
Yeah, super creepy. Like,
oh yeah, they like opened that season with like his bare ass in the shower or something weird, if I remember right. Like, oh my god, we're getting John Lithgow butt.
But yeah, yes, gotta kick his shit
It's
off.
not great, by the way, if anybody was wondering.
Yeah.
As expected, I guess.
Yeah.
Like if he had a really like rocking firm butt, he'd be like, "Whoa, what is going on with John Lithgow?" Huh?
Like he's lifting.
Dude, that'd be
now, like-
hilarious. Yeah.
John Lithgow lifting.
Got
he's
this like
swole.
bubble butt. Got his like bubble butt. It's like, hello, what's going on here?
So speaking of movie buns, we watched the new Roadhouse the other day because I heard it was terrible, and I'm like, okay, cool. And it was bad. Like the first one I liked, but it says like in the beginning like nudity, and I'm like, all right, cool, let's get some boobs. Nope, the only nudity of the whole movie is Conor McGregor's ass.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's how they get you. You're like nudity, and you're like, yeah, I get see.
It
some,
might be a bad movie,
nudity.
but at least I'm gonna see a titty, and then you don't even get to see it.
Right, that's what's supposed to get you through.
See now
What a bummer.
you can't do that anymore now though, because like now
You ruined it
it
for
would
me. I was
be.
gonna watch it, and now I'm out.
Look, he said it had Conor McGregor's butt. Okay, like
I mean,
that's what you're there.
I mean, it's fun because it's bad. Like but it's like they're in like the Florida Keys, and it's just like I don't know. It just doesn't. It's not how it
Also,
works.
it was bad for you on like multiple levels because not only
Yeah.
does it not live up to the original Roadhouse, but also it's like hitting home in a bad way. Like they're not even portraying people the right way, and you're like, God, this is not how people behave.
It's just hard to believe because it's like the Keys is all like homos and old people, not like a bunch of rough and rowdy people who will go get in fights at fucking the roadhouses.
That's more like that's more like up in like Tampa or something, right?
They should have said it at a Waffle House in Appalachia. Then you know that like folks fighting is for real.
I think the original one was in like Mississippi or something.
I think that's right.
Alabama, something like that. Yeah.
See, I could believe it in Alabama.
One of them good rednecks fighting in bar states.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's also like in the '80s and shit. It's more, you had a lot of movies that had rough and rowdy kind of stuff like that. Like Thelma and Louise had the big, bar, and then of course Roadhouse. But it was just more believable back then,
Yeah, I mean, nowadays, like
to take you to jail and you end up with assault charges or something. Like, what happened in the good old days when you could just beat the shit out of each other and then everybody went home, didn't think about it again?
Yeah, I thought I was gonna get to witness a fight yesterday at a t-ball game.
Oh
man,
cool.
That's where shit pops off. Little league game.
Well, it wasn't even between the teams either. It was the other team. Like it was like I don't know if it was custody stuff or what what was going on, like because he's like, oh, this, like, here's like you got a problem with it, you could come talk to my mama. The guy was like standing there with his mom or whatever, like, you got a problem with it, you could talk to my mama. And he's like, it's like, dude, like oh man, it was like the most wigger of wiggers kind of guy too. Like that's what he was. Like, he was literally
this was a t-ball player.
No, this was the coach. The coach was like, yeah, no, the head coach of the other team was like, he was the most wigger of wiggers you've ever seen, and he's out there like, yeah, you got a problem, you can talk to my mama. Like
who was he in an altercation with?
I think it was over something over one of the kids, the players or something like that, because they walked off like halfway during the game or something like that. Like the other parents, like, I don't know if it was custody stuff or what was going on. If it was it's supposed to be his kid, or he had them part-time or something. I don't know.
So not even like baseball game related.
Yeah, no, it was family or personal relationship stuff that was caught like a problem. I don't know.
Can't be bringing that shit to the job site, man.
Yeah. Like, man, he was the biggest douche too. Like it's like you're coaching 6-year-olds. Like, why are you gonna be a douche about every little thing?
You put white trash in an even remotely competitive environment, they're ready to fight about anything. It doesn't fucking matter. I mean,
yeah. Oh, dude, he was about to punch one of our coaches because he was saying like, hey, like like he was trying to he just made a comment or whatever, like, hey, like, don't they need to like run in the base path or they're out? It's like, oh, well, it doesn't matter in this league or something. Like, I don't know why it doesn't matter.
It's t-ball. Are there even rules?
Well, I mean, this is 6-year-old. It's not like t-ball. So they're trying to add some rules now.
This is like peppermint a little bit. AAA t-ball.
Yeah, this is the big league version of t-ball. Yeah. So it was funny though. I was like, man, am I gonna get to see a fight here? Like, and like then my second thought was like, oh shit, I don't want to get shot. Like this guy's like because just seeing the guy, he's got like basically two sleeves running together, or like he's got both his arms as sleeves, and he's got like two different sets of like, I don't know, patterns going on in there, and I'm like, yeah, he might just get pissed and start shooting up the place or something. I don't know.
It's hard to tell with the wiggers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Either they're really terrifying.
Soft. Yeah, or they're just good at acting. Yeah, it's just a fashion.
Speaking of crazy, terrifying, and hard R's,
just for the record, Morgan.
wrong with saying free Palestine? Pierce, can you say free Palestine for me?
I
Pierce,
think
can you say free Palestine for
if
me?
you stop shouting, yeah.
I want you to say it.
Yes, I'm happy to say.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm not going to shout.
If you just,
Mr. Pierce Morgan,
if you just
please
keep
say
quiet,
free
I can answer your
Palestine.
question. Yes, I'm very happy to
I'm
say.
never quiet, Pierce.
Sorry, you're still talking.
I'm never quiet.
Yeah, but try.
I'm never
Otherwise,
quiet,
I can't.
Pierce. I cannot.
You asked me
shut
to
up.
do something. If you don't shut up, I can't give you the answer.
This is the woman with the Alec Baldwin incident.
Absolutely,
Yes.
but Palestine should be free. Yes.
Oh, okay. And how are we going to do that, Pierce? Give us the answers, Pierce Morgan. Give us the fucking answers.
Yeah,
how are we going to make Palestine?
Yeah. If it was as simple
How
as
are we
me,
going to do it?
if it was as simple as me just giving a simple answer now, it would have been done by now. It's a very complicated issue. But let me ask you again. Why? Let me ask you again, seriously. Why did you do?
She's got to be like controlled opposition, right?
And what did you hope to achieve?
Alec Baldwin.
I mean, you can only hope for
Look at me.
competition, like
Pierce, honestly.
opposition like this.
Pierce, look at my body. Look at this. Look at me.
Oh my god.
Pierce, I was maimed by a white man.
Listen,
But
I understand.
here we
I
are.
understand you're a performative
beating-
artist. I understand
you're
you're trying to
beating-
make everybody laugh.
You're
You've,
beating
you've
black
made
people
you've made
be
your
afraid.
joke about your
To be
terrible
a
maiming.
satellite, you're lashing me.
Right. Okay. I'm not
I
lashing you.
was beaten. This is the third. This
you
is
wanna-
the third white man to beat me this week.
Right.
Third
Okay.
white man. Yesterday, my white boyfriend beat the shit out of me. This is the third white
See,
man.
there
The
we
first
go.
Alex.
There it
The
is.
second
white
day was
boyfriend.
another white man. Third day, Pierce Morgan is beating me up on international TV.
See, she likes being beat by white men, is what she just admitted to.
Okay, so now that we've seen this, we love her, right? Like,
Yeah, she's legitimately
she's
hilarious.
an amazing performative artist, and she managed to get on Pierce Morgan and do whatever the fuck that was in whiteface. Because she's either so batshit crazy we can't take her seriously, like if she is actually like does believe things she says, and it's like, okay, whatever, just go be crazy. But otherwise, like that has to be a fucking act. Like,
Oh no, it's
you know, like,
100% because she committed the whole bit like this is the
Like, because every
Like,
time he would try to talk, she would cut him back off again. Like, she just-
I can't shut up.
amazing.
she committed to the whole bit, like the like overly talking black woman, and then talking about being beat by white men and you know and everything.
She had the crutches and the neck brace. Oh my god, dude. And then what's funny, she's like, "Oh, look at me from like the Alec Baldwin thing." It's like, "Oh no, any of the other beatings could have actually injured you like that."
Yeah,
not
yeah.
even-
She's like the third one.
It's proven
Like,
itself.
oh, which one actually beat you this time though?
Yeah.
Instead
Which
Oh,
one
look,
caused
it's
the
even
neck
better.
damage?
It's even better. She's got in part of the segment she had a wig on.
yeah, she shook so bad she knocked the wig off. Yeah.
This even better than Alec did to me. Look at my arm.
You weren't maimed by Alec Baldwin
Hello?
on Monday, were you?
I was maimed.
No, you
My
weren't.
hand is broken. My neck is broken.
No, it's
My
not.
legs. Look at my legs. Don't do this to me, Pierce. It's too early in the morning, Pierce.
It's too.
It's too early.
There it goes.
Your wig's come off.
Pierce, can you say free Palestine for me?
If you don't shut up, I can't give you the answer.
Pierce Morgan is beating me up on international TV.
This is
And
one of the
you're calling
most
a black woman
pathetic
oppressor.
things I've ever had to endure.
It's one of the most hilarious
Honestly-
things I've ever seen in my life.
Honestly,
Oh my God.
I hope the best for her. I hope she actually does succeed in her great acting career. Because that
Oh,
was, that
man,
was a-
I hope
that
she
was a-
like goes the way of Alex Stein and like starts a YouTube channel doing the whole bit. Starts like showing up to college campuses and city council meetings and stuff and just screaming "Free Palestine" with her tits out.
She does though. That's her thing. What was her? It showed there for a second what her like YouTube thing or whatever is, her handle. No, dude, she's been. I heard she's been doing shit like this like a lot. That she's a professional agitator. I think I heard someone call her.
well, I mean, there are a lot of those, but you gotta
Isn't it like
distinguish
it's like
between the
Crackhead
government
Grimace
ones
or something? Yeah, is her name something weird like that?
Crackhead Grimace. That's amazing.
That
Oh, there
would
it is.
be.
There it is, Crackhead Barney.
Oh fuck, I was close. The wrong big purple plush.
I mean, they look similar. I mean, Grimace, Barney. Which one was first? You know, which one comes first? I mean, it's.
I think Grimace. I think Grimace has been around a while because I think
Yeah.
Barney came out in like the 80s or early 90s.
Yeah.
Oh my god. This channel.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see some of her other stuff now.
Is
Oh,
there an actual YouTube channel with it?
Dude.
Are you seeing some? He's seen some stuff.
Crackhead Barney and Friends. 16,000 subscribers. Here, she's got an exclusive with the QAnon shaman. This.
Oh no! Oh my god!
All right, look who's talking. What the fuck do you look like? Why do I look like a mess?
Oh, because your bra's about to fall off.
That's my problem. And you have no shirt on. I have no fucking shirt on. Look who's talking. We both have no fucking shirt on. And you're telling me I look like a fucking mess?
That Trump mask, yeah.
And what the fuck you got on your face?
Face paint. Spiritual warfare, baby.
For what? For who?
For God, for Christ conscious.
This is the best
In the vaccine?
Fuck no. I don't need to have my body pumped full of a bunch of shit.
But aren't you like on drugs or something? You sound like you're on drugs.
Why would I be on drugs?
I don't know.
You're the one acting like you're on drugs.
You look like a crackhead. Why crack but not the vaccine? Why crack but not the? You're a crackhead, so why crack but not the vaccine?
Yeah, I don't do crack here, but you have a good one, okay?
I'll try. Where are you going? I'm actually liking this conversation.
Oh my god!
It is funny, like, and assume like you don't know who either of those people are. It's just two insane people yelling at each other. You know, they're both dressed insanely. You know?
That's the best part of it. I want to just post that video on my Facebook for all my, like, you know, boomer folks back home that don't know who either of these people are. Just leave me like, who are these crazy people? What the fuck?
Yeah, like wow. Hey, and then say, remember, like, these people get to vote just like you. Their votes counts the same as yours. my hero, I could do. What?
Oh my god, it's a whole shtick. This is fucking amazing.
She douses her head, like her face in like white powder every time. Is that literally
not every time, but on a lot of them? Yeah.
Yeah.
Where she wants to be especially offensive.
Eric Adams, cop for mayor. Oh my
God. Barney street fighting with the Proud Boys.
What?
Crackhead Barney's 420 extravaganza.
Looks like she finally hit it.
Barney and friends go to an NRA convention.
Oh god.
Oh god.
I'm not just like trolls.
I'm not getting any sleep today. I'm gonna be like completely non-productive just watching all
right
this
wing
shit.
We're supposed to be.
I don't know.
Alec Baldwin's not. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe she's
I mean,
not that strict about it.
No, see, but she was trying to. He was going against, or he was basically supporting Israel or whatever.
Right.
So she's just like, hey, free Palestine, and that's sort of like the leftist thing. And she wears the Trump mask a lot, which makes me think that she's like lefty. But,
right, or at least the character is supposed to be crazy, what have you.
Yeah, she could be playing a bit like playing the crazy lefty, and then like that would be the funniest outcome, honestly. She's playing a crazy lefty.
I mean, either way, I mean, did she really give a fuck about whatever? Probably not.
It's all, regardless of which side she's on politically, it's all a bit. Like,
yeah.
But it's funnier if it's a bit where she's pretending to be like the opposite side instead of like, oh, I'm being an exaggerated version of my side, like that.
Pulling a Colbert on them.
Yeah, kind of like Dag's theory on the other 98% and Occupy Democrats and stuff. I think it's the long con.
I can't believe they're still buying it.
Because as with those, like, she gets progressively more crazy and insane with some of this shit. It's like you are creating this caricature of a progressive, like going with the insane. Can you just just say free Palestine, Pierce. And then whenever he's like, well, I'll say, yeah, I just say it. You know, it just the more insane that it gets, the funnier it is, and also the more unserious it makes everybody else.
Yeah,
seem.
Yeah, it's like discredits all of them.
I mean, as if they don't make themselves seem unserious enough when they can't even answer like pretty basic question.
And what would you say is the main goal with tonight's protest?
I think the goal is just showing our support for Palestine and demanding that NYU stops. I honestly don't know all of what NYU is doing.
Is there something that NYU is doing?
I really don't know. I'm pretty sure they're... Do you know what NYU is doing?
About what?
About Israel. Why are we protesting here?
Palestine will be free!
I wish I was more educated.
I'm not either.
Oh.
I wish I was more educated. You're at...
Columbia?
You're supposed to be at an educational institution.
I heard there's lots of cops. Some people were saying it was...
What's Columbia and NYU doing exactly? That's well, I don't know, but we're protesting them anyway because things. And, yeah.
They
got out of class for it, and the
well, I think Columbia, they canceled all the speeches and shit for graduation,
because they were all Jews.
Well, they're like, oh, because of concerns of violence and stuff, that they didn't think they could properly provide security because there's been so many of these protests allegedly. So, even people who famous people who come to speak at the colleges, they're not coming to do their speeches. College is gay and I don't care about that, but a lot of shit is getting disrupted because of whatever is going on there.
I thought maybe Columbia looked at their staff and who all was going to be giving commencement speeches and stuff, and they're like, shit, they're all Jews. We're gonna have to pull the plug on this.
Well, the valedictorian chick was her major was genocide studies or something. So I think they're just well, whatever she's gonna say is gonna be offensive to somebody. So let's just not. The fact that's even a major is crazy.
How do you major in genocide studies? What's the job that you're applying for with that? I mean,
probably just a historian.
I know what job I think you would be most qualified for, but
Crackhead Barney.
Yes, that's be Crackhead Barney's producer.
Yeah.
How is that even a major?
Because the universities need to because the universities need to feel so it's just like with Title IX, the reason that women's soccer is so big in the US now is because they had to have women's soccer because of Title IX, because that was the easiest sport that they could get women involved in and they could get scholarships out to them, and then now they have to reach scholarship. Yeah, well, at least the lesbian ones, the butch lesbian ones, apparently.
Clyde really would make a great lesbian, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
The more I think about it,
missed his calling.
Yeah. Everything from his clothes.
If he had been born 20 years later, he could have been a tranny lesbian, and it would have been perfect. And with modern beauty standards, what they are, he wouldn't even had to shave or anything. His hair's already pretty curly, so you don't have to curl your hair.
He's thin. He's already hotter than half the chicks in existence.
What the real shame of this is he won't watch the episode, so he has no
he doesn't know we're roasting him. Yeah. Watch him actually go back and watch this one and be like, hey, what the hell?
I love Clyde so much. I really do, legitimately, as a friend and everything. But I just feel bad because I just can't help but roast him constantly, and it's all in fun. I love him, and I love his stupid style and fashion and shit, but it's just so easy.
He's
too easy.
He and I'll be having serious conversation, one-on-one about stuff we're gonna do for the Empty Tomb and other normal live shit, and he'll switch into Clyde mode. He's like, sorry, it's hard to separate the character from real life. Sometimes it just takes over.
Yeah, you end up like that crackhead Barney chick. You just take it too far. It's like in the movies.
You
where
take
the
it
cop
too
goes
far.
undercover.
Pennsylvania.
He's like, man, you're in too deep.
Have they made him cut his balls off yet?
Oh shit.
Speaking of cutting balls off. Oh, where'd it go? So this is a amazing statue. You really gotta see it to get the full. Oh, there it is. That opening.
I mean, that's a cool statue.
Very cool statue. Yeah,
either way.
Perspective really is everything.
Look, see, this is what they're talking about. Like, this is what women are talking about, the patriarchy. Look, there's just somehow everywhere they look, they see dick and balls. Like, that's what it is. They somehow they get the right angle. They see the perspective that everything is dick and balls. And that's
everything has to be phallic.
Yeah.
You know, we say that they're the ones that'll use cucumbers and shower heads and God knows what else. Like, maybe we're not the only ones who are inserting that into culture everywhere. You're inserting it somewhere else. Like, calm down, lady.
Just all. Sorry about that.
Dag wanted to say something, and somebody walked in with like a serious work question. He's like, "Oh wait, shit."
It's like not, dude. This place I'm working where I'm sitting right now. It's like it's so not serious at all. It's fucking awesome. Like I could be drinking an open beer right now, and no one would care. Not that I do that. I don't drink when I work because I get lazy. But I'm just saying, chill. I can do that other thing I like to do as well.
You're not going to be allowed to be lazy, because apparently everybody's open to Trump's harshest immigration plan. So we're going to have to send the Mexicans back, and so you're going to have to work harder, Dag. See, I'm sorry.
I don't like that.
Look, all the Mexicans that were going to work the jobs that apparently Americans don't want, you're going to have to be working now, and but anyway, this
hard
this
enough
is a
to get
poll.
anybody to work in the first place.
Yeah,
I feel like most of those jobs can probably be automated anyway, so that'll be okay.
What's the list? I can't see it, but I have to assume, lawn care guy.
No, this is
fast food. I mean, basically, it's cooks. I mean, that's who cooks in every restaurant is Mexican.
Well, this is just a breakdown by political affiliation, generation, and the ethnicity of people who support the mass deportations. So it's 51% for just the general public. So we have a very slim majority who are just like, yeah, any deportation, like just deport them all. That's 51% right now, and obviously there are certain which actually Latino 45% support it.
Man,
45%.
I'd say legal Hispanics absolutely hate the illegals. Like,
yeah,
they will narc them out in a fucking heartbeat. They're like, "No, I did everything I was supposed to come here legally. SA, you got to go back. You ain't taking my job."
Yeah, what's surprising here to me is that the millennial is at almost 50%. Like I expected millennials to be, honestly, my generation to be kind of lagging behind here. I expected them to be more like Gen Z here, but no, actually we're okay with the deporting the ones that are.
Gen Z is like the lost generation. Like, they're going to be the ones that absolutely just suck fucking dick, both literally and figuratively. It's the next ones that are coming up behind them, like my son's generation. They're going to be the ones that save us. I am convinced.
Yeah, whatever alpha or whatever they call it now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The final solution is what they're going to be called.
Well, somebody's got a solution for the gender stuff, apparently, and that's Ron DeSantis. You're a good governor, Dag.
Apply, and we will. Florida rejects Joe Biden's attempt to rewrite Title IX. We will not comply, and we will fight back. We are not going to let Joe Biden try to inject men into women's activities. We are not going to let Joe Biden undermine the rights of parents, and we are not going to let Joe Biden abuse his constitutional authority to try to impose these policies on us here in Florida. We stand with opportunities. We are not going to let Biden get away with it. We will not comply.
So there you go. Apparently, he's not gonna, because Joe Biden is trying to basically incorporate the transgender stuff into Title IX. Which if you read Title IX, you know that it was always going to be used in this kind of way. It was always going to be used infinitely, and that's why it's a horrible, piece of legislation, because it's meant to just expand. I mean, it's just like what we say, about like the civil rights law, like the way civil rights law is instituted. The Title IX is the same thing, but with like genders. So they can use it for infinity genders at this point, because it doesn't really matter. I mean,
I too was born 20 years too late. I could have gone to school. I guess I did go to school on a women's basketball scholarship. So never mind. I could have dominated.
Not as a coach. You could have been on
dominated
the court.
I could have dominated in the games, not just in practice.
Yeah.
It's like I can't get mad about like missing out on the opportunity to go to school on a women's basketball scholarship and not have to pay for my school, because I literally did go to school on a women's basketball scholarship. So I tell people that, and they're always like, "What?" Like, yeah, there are ways to work the system if you know how. Jay has a good point. He says like millennials have enough of the older millennials who, even though we are probably more spiritually aligned with Gen X, we are technically classified as millennials. So we're bringing y'all's averages up. Like, we're the ones who are keeping the millennial generation from completely sucking. You're welcome.
Well, and I kind of agree with them too. But what I just really hate, like the generation thing, and like I know like it, but it's because it's not like, okay, 1982 and then 1983 and then boom, everything, everybody's different. It's not quite like that. So,
well, it's phases. There's like phases to it. Yeah.
It's a fluid thing. It molds over time. But I do it because it's like, oh, millennials. It's like, right, but that's like, it's just like a big like gap. Like I said, I'm in there at the the older end. I don't know. I just think it's. And then I mean, I definitely like I do share a lot of things like you said with like Gen Z, but I definitely or Gen X. I'm sorry, but I don't want to be Gen X.
Well,
no
and like
Steve, but they're just like the boomers. They just got to tell everybody how they're the best. Now we're the best generation because our parents didn't care about us or what the fuck ever they say.
Well, I mean, Gen X kind of does that too. Like, oh, latchkey, we were latchkey.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, but they do it just every. But that's what I'm saying though. That's the course because it was the the World War II generation and then the boomers and now it's just they're all going through the same thing. They're getting old. They're getting crotchety. They just. What's going to happen to us too?
At least by being classified as millennials, we are free to admit that all of them fucking suck.
Yeah, we're allowed to talk shit. Yeah.
Wait, Dag is actually. See, I thought you were borderline. Like
I'm 85.
Oh, 85. Okay. So.
Yeah, I'm like 2 or 3 years in.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I'm 83. That's it, and I think it also there's a lot of it that's regional or like where you grew up and how you were raised and stuff like that. Like
because like the American South. So like for me, 94, that was me growing up from that age, like in that era in the South. A lot of it, our stuff we hadn't caught up. All our technology was like my first computer was the Windows 95. And even though I was born in 94, my first computer was Windows 95.
You had Windows for your first computer? Shit.
Yeah.
We were a Windows family for sure.
We had to stick the big 3.5-inch floppy thing in there just to boot up the computer. And anytime you wanted to do something else, you had to swap them out.
Oh yeah, I remember those. I had something I actually wanted to ask you guys since we're talking about the generation thing. When did you first hear the term like millennial? Because when I was like growing up and younger, when I was growing up and younger, like I remember being told we were like Generation I or Y or some shit. I didn't hear millennial until I was like probably like pushing 30.
Yeah,
well, it started coming up in the news and social media and everyone talking shit about millennials.
Yeah, I don't think the term millennial came around until like mid 2000s, like getting close to 2010ish. Because like it was always like Gen X, then Gen Y or Gen I because we were selfish.
Information. I thought it was information age or some shit. That's what they told me in my 5th grade.
Who knows?
But yeah, so I was always like, wait, who's a millennial? I'm supposed to be a millennial? I thought I was a generation fucking IY.
Yeah. It was started out as Generation Y because they started saying like like X, Gen X. There was Gen X, and then they were gonna go Gen Y. They were just gonna label them with like letters, I guess. And then the term millennial came about whenever the fact that they looked back on it and they were like, oh, most of the people this age became adults around the time or became matured. To adolescence or adulthood during the early 2000s, which was the change of the millennia, and so that's why they were classifying us as millennials.
They sent the right guy.
Okay.
They sent the right guy.
Awesome.
Oh, cool.
So there's one tech out for those who are watching and are like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" Before the show, I said there's a chance I might have to get off because my internet service was sending a tech out to work on the connection issues we've been having. And there's one guy that works for the company out here that's actually worth a fuck. There used to be a second guy, and he moved to North Carolina. Like his sister lived in North Carolina, and he was the one that would normally come out, and he was really good. And he was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna move to North Carolina and be close to his sister and nieces and nephews and blah, 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 blah." And then he fucking did it. And like, so then they've been like, use these subcontractors, and every one of the subcontractors sucks donkey dick. They are terrible. But there's one guy out here that anytime we have a problem, he'll come out and have it fixed in like 5 minutes. He didn't even come to the house. He just called me and said, "Hey, I got it fixed. Check your modem." And I looked over, and sure enough, everything is. I got greens across the board like I'm supposed to be. Like I'm supposed to. I was like, "Oh, awesome!" They're like, why can't they just send him every time? Like I know he's got a huge area to cover, but holy shit! Like, can we not go through this bullshit every single fucking time where they send one of these subcontractors out the first time, and then I have to go through all the rigmarole of getting mad at customer service and cussing out some Indian that doesn't understand what I'm saying. And
I had like a decade ago, someone came to install cable or whatever, and dude, total fucking loser, and didn't put it anything was where I told him to or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck ever, just deal. But as he's wrapping up, he comes to me and goes, so we had a little bit of a faux pas, not the right use of that word, by the way. We had a little bit of a faux pas. There's no outlet on this wall. So, like, they didn't have anywhere to plug the modem in for power. You know, like they drill holes through my fucking walls, ran the cable inside, and then like, oh, there's no outlet on this wall. Once they got it all, they were like, all right, let's plug it in and fire it up. And we're like, oh, shit. And I was like, I'll just run a fucking extension cord and I'll add a receptacle myself. Please get out of my house. Like, just go, dude. So pissed.
These guys always like are the guy who has set everything up. They're like, all right, this is the direction we're coming from. Where should we put it in the wall to be near a receptacle? Like that's the first thing they do is come inside and like look at what's the best place to feed it in going to be.
The thing is, that, like, yeah, in my place, there was already cable installed before. So there was already a hole through the block wall in the right place next to an outlet where I wanted the fucking modem. But he's like, well, like, I wasn't home when they, like, got there. My roommate was there. And he's like, well, you know, it might rain later, so I didn't want to get up in the attic And I was like, fuck you, dude. It's your job to crawl through an attic and run wires. It's literally your fucking job. God damn. Oh well. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't live there anymore. Life goes on.
What else
Oh
we got?
yeah, life goes on.
What else we got to talk about today? Anything?
Long after the thrill of living is gone.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Oh,
I guess we can let it rock and let it roll.
Yeah. I love that song. One of my favorites.
It is good. It is good. Oh shit. Yeah, I don't think I know about anything else that's going on in the world. I was proud of myself for how informed I was about Crackhead Barney. I'm glad I can bring something to the table, guys.
Yeah, you know.
It does feel like it's been kind of a slow news week. Like, I mean, aside from like just the little bit of stuff we talked about already, like it's just been that same stuff on repeat all week. It's
always in the shadow of an impending world war. You know, it's just, what seems important, huh? I've been drinking too much, so that's how I'm handling it.
At this point, it all just seems kind of retarded.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.